It's quite interesting though, because like a lot of people in our industry and the events industry in general have struggled to cope with like coronavirus. So as an event, your work is entirely in events. Is it just smuggling meat you've gone into, or have you found some other?
No, it is. It's like without like bringing the mood down. It's fucked us big time. Like and everyone in the events industry, and it's just such a tough one because you don't know how to play it. Like you just have to fucking go with the flow. I think that's what I've come to accept. Like you can't just like be angry all the time and just have to go with it.
We got there in the spring. We were trying to. It starts doing your head in, but it was the natural thing in March and April to be like, I think we must have done this when we were doing the lockdown lock-ins, the shutdown lock-ins, whatever. We were doing daily podcasts. We started doing this thing of, I think by June, maybe July. And Adam was like, no, November. And well, I think by September. And in the end, you just have to become a passenger and be like, we'll be ready when we're fucking allowed. There's no point. You're messing with your own mental health, trying to predict it because you're trying to affect some control. You just know that as soon as you can, you're going to do your thing again. Yeah, but it's brutal guessing.
Nail in the head. Like, because when we started, that like when it started, we were doing some streaming and it was kind of good. And it's like, oh, well, this will be over by, the summer, and then it's dying down. And then the government were sort of saying, oh, there'll be arena shows in October and all. And like, it's just been tough. It's been tough for all of our host dancers, like guys in the office, just a killer. But hopefully, the brand that we've built will survive through it. And we know that like the style of the event and comedy nights and things like that, like that's what people want more than anything. As soon as like the green light goes, I think the demand to go out and have a night out, and not just maybe to go to the boozer for sort of like live entertainment, something a bit different.
2021 there will be a release of energy. Hopefully, we're banking on. We're doing the same thing again. Of like, it should be done by Easter. I mean, it should be done by.
But it really should be now, shouldn't it?
But
with a vaccine coming,
then,
stab your nan in the arm with this vaccine. Keep it in a fucking cupboard for 2 weeks. Give her the rest of it, and let us go and have a fucking party.
And I think there'll be such a flood of like, not just going to the boozer or fucking Nando's. Things like comedy and things like Bongo's become like, oh fuck, I want to live. I want to do to make up for what has been a bit of a shitty year where you've missed out on stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be like a fucking spring, innit? It's just constantly getting more and more tense, and then tenser and tenser it gets. When it gets released, it's just going to...
My mate's starting to plan his 41st birthday because his 40th just got shat on from a great height, turned 40 in November, and he's just gone, there's nothing, I've not got to do anything. So he's like, we're going big for 41, and he's just moving all the excitement to then. Good on him. So we're all going to be knobheads and try and find 41 balloons, which don't exist. Get a Sharpie pen, we'll be off.
Laughing.
You're going to have to get a 4 and a 1, because they definitely exist. Because quite big birthdays when you're a kid.
2 balloons. Yeah. Fucking clever, lad. Yeah. Mate, fucking.
Not just a fucking hat rack, kid.
Yeah.
Is there do you get people on stage, don't you?
What, from the crowd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has there anyone ever, has it ever got a bit fucking eggy? Because I've brought people on stage before. I made a mistake very early on. This was when Hot Water was in the Crown pub. And I was like 3 years in, maybe. And the headliner that night was a Canadian called Marty McLean. Remember Marty?
I do, yeah, right? yeah.
So I'm on in the middle section, and there was this heckler who he thought he should have been on stage. So I went, come on then, come on stage. And Marty, who's veteran of comedy, shit himself. He was like, this is going to kick off. Because I gave the guy the mic and stood next to him. I was like, go on, you do your bit then, if you think you're good. Because I was having a decent gig. And he stood all like awkwardly. He's like, yeah. God. So it was in my Mars the other day. Fucking bitch. And gets fuck all. And he's like, yeah, you know when your Mars is doing your fucking head, fucking bitch. And saying this, I don't really remember what else he said, but I remember he said that. And it just didn't work. And he was like, oh, yous are all just fucking being knobheads because I was a knobhead to him. This is funny, this. Right? And I was like, can I have the mic back? He was like, you can have it back when I'm finished. And then it got really fucking eggy because as I could, like, when Marty then rushed the stage and was like, give us the fucking mic, fuck you. He got kicked out, this guy. And afterwards, Marty was like, don't ever get someone on stage, especially if they think they're going to be funny, because it's always alpha males who can't deal with the fact that someone's funnier than them in the room. They get on stage, they realise the fucking shit, and then it kicks off.
So you've given them the mic because you know they're not going to be funny.
Yeah.
But the end game isn't them going, sir, I admit you have bested me. And I wish everyone here a lovely evening. I'll go and put my head in the oven.
So is it ever got a bit awkward?
Not really. We've had, like, we get people up, but it's more for like dance-offs and you know, like we do like a sort of like a raffle every after every game. There's like a lucky ticket, and if you come up, that's when like you win for big money, and it's like a who wants to be like a millionaire question or whatever. And like people have pissed themselves on stage, like literally a couple of times, like winning like a couple of grand. I think I only had one, like as someone comes up and I'll like quickly do like a wee like interview with them briefly, like, so where are you from, like Warrington or something, and then it's a shit gag, but I just like it. And as they're leaving, if they've got the question wrong, I like, you know, beckon them back going, listen, Saturday night, we're all having a good time, you know, as if I'm going to give them another go, and then I just say, fuck off back to Warrington. and then like, everyone cheers and they sort of play the Curb Your Enthusiasm music, and then they walk off. But one guy once went to bottle me, but that was about it, really.
Oh, so when I said, does it ever get eggy? And you
Just
said
once.
no. Just the once, I nearly got bottled.
But we've got like this big security guy called Dangerous Dave, who is like an absolute unit. And he just dived in.
Did he pick his own nickname or?
I don't even think he's called Dave.
Fucking brilliant.
He's class though, big boy, like.
Yeah.
Well, he's become like part of the show, like almost like a Steve or whatever you call it from Jerry Springer.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
just
He
yeah.
just comes in, does little
He's
bits.
like Graham from Jeremy Kyle.
Like Graham, but like a unit.
Graham was fucking massive.
Oh,
No, there was another one in Jeremy Kyle. There was the security one, I think.
Yeah.
Graham was the pastoral aftercare, was he?
Yeah. Graham was
We
the
don't
guy
have
who...
one of them like that comes and speaks to people.
you just
off the
fuck
wall.
off to Warrington.
Just fuck off to Warrington and go and speak to Graham there. We'll get you help. We'll get you help.
We'll send you on with a bit of meat.
get your help.
We're not dickheads. Dangerous Dave. Oh, fucking love the idea of just someone like being... that's the thing with security at comedy clubs. They're there, but they're not always watching. I feel like Dangerous Dave is definitely there and watching. That's his job. I remember at Rawhide once, I said something about Northern Ireland. I mentioned it because I used to have housemates from Belfast when I was at uni, and it got mentioned and I went into a bit, and this piss person just couldn't accept that I'd talked about Northern Ireland and went to throw her drink at me, but it was a glass of wine, and as she did that motion, it sort of looped out of the glass, and I just saw wine sort of just go over my head, and then stood there going, did you just threw wine at me?
If you're
She was
quick
like,
enough there, free
should,
bevy.
you shouldn't have said anything about Northern Ireland. And I went, okay, but did you throw wine at me? And I was just waiting for like, "Fa-dumph," and nothing fucking happened. It was the worst because I was just waiting for someone to get fucking rugby tackled from the side, because bouncers are dying for something to kick off because it's boring, and nothing happened. So I had to go, oh, okay, you did then. Well, I'll get on with the comedy.
She just
That's
sat down.
me.
She's off for another glass of wine.
There's-
fucking brutal.
There's a league table of bouncers though, isn't there? And I feel like Bongo's Bingo needs a Dangerous Dave. And then one step down from that, you've got nightclubs. Step down from that, you've got local pubs that are a bit tasty. Step down from that, you've got comedy clubs. And then even below that, you've got that sad cunt who has to stand on Burger King.
Oh, no.
Like,
So
what
bad.
happened in their life when they're like, oh, I'm going to be a doorman. I'm hard as fuck. I'm a fucking blue belt in fucking karate.
Chip flying, chips are flying, chips are flying.
They just have to decide whether you're drunk enough for a fucking overpriced burger. I feel so sorry for those guys.
Yeah.
What would your bouncer nickname be, Dan?
Dangerous Dave.
Yeah, so this Dangerous Dave, what would you
It's not Dangerous Dave, is it? It's fucking baldy nonce. Is that I just like sex pest them until they start like, all right.
No alliteration, just baldy nonce.
Baldy nonce. Yeah.
Nonce.
I just don't do it like
Leave me out of it, Liam.
I don't. I'm a thespian.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, you know, was back in the days.
You were a
Now
thespian.
I did a bit of amateur dramatics. So I'm not a real thespian. I was just saying, you know.
Isn't a thespian like an old style English actor?
No, I think it's just any form of sort of actor or drama type.
It's just because most people, when they say thespian, that's how they say it.
Yeah,
Like, I'm a thespian.
I'm a thespian. Yeah, it's just means actor or yeah.
Yeah.
But people who use the term thespian are those type of cunts.
Yeah.
And so I apologise. I wish I'd not done it.
Argumentative Adam.
What, as a doorman?
Yeah.
That's not your ID. It is.
Mate.
It isn't. In a way.
He'd start more fights than he fucking ended.
I I wouldn't.
You would.
What a great response. I wouldn't. I'm not argumentative. Yeah, you are. No, I'm not.
I'm quite good at calming situations now.
Fuck the fuck off.
What do you mean?
What situations do you calm down?
All of them. Like, I'm quite chill, me. When it's kicking off, I'm always like, come on, we can sort this out. That's how I did my shoulder. I was trying to calm a fight down between my little brother and some big cunt. Might have been Dangerous Dave. You never know. And then that's when I got assaulted.
Right.
I didn't assault anyone back.
You're a very calming influence, especially on this podcast.
Yeah.
Everyone
just chill out. Why are we arguing?
What has happened? I'm calling myself a thespian and you're lying about being chilled out.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It does feel like it's kicking off a wee bit. Like,
Yeah, it's because he's fucking speaking to me like I'm a dickhead.
It's kicking off while we're arguing about how we don't kick off.
Yeah, I'm like sitting here like I'm in some sort of gaff at 4 a.m, going like, I'm taking my meat and go.
You can have that for tea. You're all right. You're all right. You're going to be all right.
That'll do, pig.